Welcome back to the New Equity Network show. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, and Ed Baxter, our co-host on broadcasting to you live on the KBCE Dallas Business Authority, 1160 AM. All right, we're talking with Greg Lambrecht, CEO of Singlepoint, and symbol on that is SING. All right, Greg, Ed, you just blew a lot of gaskets on his mind, and he had all kinds of verticals and other markets that he wanted to bring up to you, and then see if you can give him some feedback, because you're the expert in this field. Go ahead, Ed. Ask him some of these questions.
Ed Baxter again. Something that comes up naturally when you look at a product like this, and it kind of separates it from other products we've seen on the market, who marketed themselves and their own technology and also attempted to brand their own technology, which obviously is very expensive, leads to a simple question when it comes to Singlepoint. And that is, do you see this as a white labeling product for individual businesses or small corporations or corporations with franchises, where ultimately you give them a chance to essentially have their own payment system with their own name on it, but using your backbone?
Yeah, we do. In fact, I wanted to, and this kind of leads me into one of our strategies is that we want to come up with our own verticals. For example, we are in the process of talking to all the golf courses in the U.S. The golf carts right now are the ones that do use Square that can take credit cards. They're not able to leave those tabs open, so every time someone uses their credit card, they have to clear it out, and then if they want to buy something, they have to buy something again. So we're developing our mobile payment technology to allow those to stay open. So it's a perfect example of a big market that we can actually build a product for and be the leaders in that field. One of the other products that we've came up with that we have disclosed publicly is what we call our Umi app, and this is very similar to Uber in the fact that let's say it's a tow truck company or a pizza store chain with 15 accounts and they have 50 drivers. Well, just like Uber, the pizza store chain will be able to see exactly where their drivers are by the tracking system, and then of course the customer can see exactly where their pizza is. But more importantly, when it arrives there, they can use our mobile payment technology to pay for it with their mobile phone. So we are actually using our technology and specifically creating some verticals that we think that we can be a major player in.
You know, Ed brought up a couple of things, and one of which I'm going to focus on is like our show. You know, people can get social interaction through Singlepoint by advertising and get updates about who's on the show, things like that. Bring that out, Ed. That's a good idea you had.
Well, one thing that stood out when I talked about the show and talked about how this product can be a benefit to that is that ultimately it becomes a kind of a one-stop shop for people managing their account, in addition to adding any things they want to add to their account, but also giving them a social interaction to the account in the sense that those parties who are coming on the show, those information about the blogs from the show and any activities as far as the show is concerned, any remote broadcast things and things of that nature, are those things that can be done through the platform, or are those things you're interested in doing on your platform in addition to just payments?
Well, no, you're on the right track. I mean, for example, with your show, any products that maybe a customer would like to buy or any causes that they would like to donate, our platform would allow them to do that.
Okay. All right. You also wanted to talk about uplisting on the bulletin board.
Yeah, we're currently on the OTC Pinks, and for the last 3 or 4 months, we've been working on getting our financials audited, and we're at the final stage of that. And we're very excited about taking the company and getting it up on the bulletin board.
All right. Well, the market that you're going after right now, are you just domestic, or are you expanding into international borders? What's going on there?
Well, yeah, this isn't public knowledge yet, but we're in the middle of
Whoa, stop. If it's not public knowledge, don't get yourself in trouble here.
No, I won't get myself in trouble. But we're in the process of in negotiations with an acquisition, which, interesting enough, will allow us to take some of our mobile technology internationally.
Yeah, because I can see that being able to penetrate this sector is something that goes from zero to just huge and overnight. Ed's got another question for you.
Greg, let's talk about scalability. Obviously, being a tech company and operating on the premise that you have a significant amount of data that'll be traveling on your network, can you kind of address the scalability issue? Is this a cloud platform? Is it your own servers? Or how do you protect the information, and how do you mine that information for uses that may be ancillary to what the initial use is?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, 20 years ago, it was crucial that that you had enough knowledge or money and continued to be able to buy servers to keep up with your business. But with technology these days, it's I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's much simpler, easier to expand your business on the mobile side with the cloud and the new things that are happening. So that's one of the good things about what's happened in this business is you really can expand much more easily than you could back in the day.
Greg, also, I guess when you think about the technology you have, and the first thing I did when I looked at Singlepoint was I started listing the number of groups out there that represented mobile payment platforms and kind of cross-referencing what the differences and also some of the contrast might be. As you think of yourself as a mobile payments innovator, talk to us a little bit about how you see the vision of your company going forward, how you expect to grow it, and what expectations you have from a growth standpoint when you compare it to other systems that are out there.
Well, I think at Singlepoint and Sing here, what we're really focused on doing is identifying some niche verticals and really becoming the major player in those verticals and making us attractive for maybe some larger companies that want to get into that vertical. For example, I named a couple, but the other one is something that we're doing and very excited about, and that's using our technology in the nonprofit sector and auctions, which is a huge business. There was over $300 billion donated last year, so that's one niche, and the other one I mentioned was the golf niche. So that's kind of our focus, is to really use our technology to penetrate some niches out there, whether it's and the third one I wanted to discuss was the kind of the Uber delivery side. So we're excited about it, and we're putting together our mobile apps now that are able to do that, and we're just starting to penetrate the market.
Wow. Go ahead, Ed.
As far as you mentioned something really important when you talked about fundraising and you talked about nonprofits and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself as a de facto kind of, maybe a virtual crowdfund when it comes to fundraising?
Yeah, well, I think the crowdfunding, we've been in the nonprofit for quite some time and have some large clients in that business, and so we're very familiar with that and allowing people to do donations on their cell phone to either their favorite charity or faith-based or whatever it is. So the crowdfunding is just another way to donate, and we're very excited about that too, and we're all set up to take advantage of that and allow some of these crowdfunding companies to use our technology.
That's excellent. I mean, can you imagine instead of passing the plate at church, and there's a lot of them, just using your app?
Well, that's just it. I mean, it's the ease part of it, and and that's a good example. But also, let's say that your kid's school auction is happening, and you'd like to go, but you can't. You're out of town on business or whatever. Well, you can still donate with your mobile phone. You don't need to be there, and I think that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, I am. All right, Greg, we've got to go. We're at the end of our segment. I want to thanks for you taking the time to be on our show. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Mine too. All right, that was Greg Lambrecht, CEO, SinglePoint.com, symbol We'll be back on the other side of this break with Steve Gray, founder and president, Orbis Robotics.